This is the Fan Connection Podcast where we talk all things sports entertainment. We're your hosts. I'm Royce the Kid Michaels.
And I'm the real deal Devin Steele. Thanks to everyone who's listening.
Let's get right into it.
Bad Blood War Games Part 2.
For this second half of the Bad Blood War Games edition, one of us will be going through a table.
By way of diving from the top of a ladder.
The choice of which will take the move is completely up to y'all, the fans.
Like for Royce Michaels to go through the table.
Comment if you want to see Devin Steele go through a table.
Make your choice now.
Crown Jewel 2024 results. Y'all are not going to be happy about this.
The OG Bloodline takes on the fake Bloodline. And this was probably the best match of the night. And that is unfortunate because it was the very first.
Literally, you think Roman Reigns is in this match, Solo's in this match, this is probably going to be head of the table type
we've
stuff.
been doing this for 4 years, and I just don't understand, if we're going to get to this peak, right, Solo is the new tribal chief, it's like, well, then let's actually do it. We've seen that same sequence with the Superman punch and everything else 3 times already.
Yep.
On SmackDown.
Also, towards the end of it, Tonga Loa makes his little distraction, and then they start beating him down or whatever. And then we find out it's not Sami Sikoa at all. It's been Sami Uso since day one.
And honestly, I never thought Sami was going to betray them. That's not really like him. It's not in his character.
It's really not. But I thought that was just, a statement to Roman and Jimmy and Jay that, Sami does got their back. So maybe they'll turn to him for some help.
I don't know. They're weird about it because of the Helluva Kick incident.
Oh, yeah. He laid Roman out on accident. He did, but...
And so, yes, the fake Bloodline won. But it was really Jacob Fatu just went animal mode and wiped all 3 of them out. And then Roman Reigns was down. Solo hit him with 2 spikes while he was down already and then pinned him.
But that's the only thing that makes sense. Like we predicted, Solo had to pin Roman for this to make sense. He can't pin Jimmy or Jay for it to make any sense.
If the OG Bloodline defeated the fake Bloodline here, going into Survivor Series, it wouldn't matter who won.
Next match, we had the women's tag team match. It was a fatal 4-way. And it was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, Damage Control, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and then it was Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. And to be honest, this match was actually alright. And I don't want to take any steam away from this Bloodline stuff that happened before that because it was the first match. But, I mean, I don't think the right people won.
I agree with you, and I don't know if the Meta-Force should have won. I do believe that the title should have changed hands to keep the division a little more fresh. Because, Jade and Bianca are unbeatable outright in a physical contest. That's how they're booked. They're both super athletes. They're ripped.
And there for the longest time throughout the match, I thought Damage Control was going to pick it up.
Damage Control always does well. They bust out these cool spots. And, I wanted Damage Control to win. They're probably my favorite team. Chelsea and Piper Niven played for laughs. They don't really do anything. It'd be cool to see them have a title run. But, as far as the Meta-Four goes, man, this loss isn't the end for them. And I'm willing to give them a real shot. What little I've seen of them, they're impressive.
I truly think that Lash Legend and them and Io Sky, this isn't over for them. They'll probably have another beef after this is over, obviously. And I think there's big things in there for all these that competed in this match, though, going forward.
Seth freaking Rollins, my bad, defeats Big Bronson Reed. What the hell?
This is stupid. So, we build into this for what? 2 months, Devin?
Yeah, at least 2 months of building Bronson Reed to be a monster.
And like, literally, like on Raw, Seth Rollins literally delivered a curb stomp onto a car,
And it
he
did
gets
nothing.
up.
It did nothing to
He
him.
gets up and like he just like, you know, pretty much no sells it and still gets the job done. He walks away.
This is some of the most atrocious booking I have seen in recent memory. What a waste of a storyline.
And it's weird because like I called this Seth Rollins to win, but I didn't want him to win like that. I wanted it to be like one of them, you know, John Cena and Kevin Owens type matches, you know what I mean? But like that's not how they did it. Dude, it looked like a squash match between Seth Rollins and him.
Bro, they spent all this time on Bronson Reed and trying to establish him as a main eventer, a real contender for the world championship. And instead, that loss, what they just did to him at Crown Jewel, has established him as a guy who cannot handle it when he gets in the deep end.
He'll always be a mid-carder.
It looks like, yeah, mid-carder for life. You just got buried shovel style.
Dude, the only title I could ever see him holding after this is probably maybe the IC or US
He just
title.
got
That's
buried
it.
worse than what Super Cena would do to you. Worse
So,
than
like-
what Triple H would do to you.
And the crazy thing is, as soon as Seth Rollins got named the winner of that match, he was automatically, they said it on the announce table, Michael Cole said it, that on Monday he's going to be in a fatal four-way for the #1 contender match. He just beat Bronson Reed. Why not give Bronson Reed that push for the world title?
And Damian Priest is in that match, and he just lost.
To Dom, who is also in that fatal four-way match.
This is the same exact thing they did to Chad Gable at King of the Ring. They just missed their moment. I literally saw people calling Big Bronson Reed to win the Royal Rumble.
And now it's like just a
And now he's nobody.
It's a
now,
light you
now
s-
nobody cares.
a
And-
light you seen at the end of the hallway, and then you're never going to get to it.
Yeah, now nobody cares. Thanks a lot, whoever booked that decision.
Yeah, that was horrible. We hate that. Next, we have the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan versus the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax to become the first ever Women's Crown Jewel Champion. And what do you think happened, Devin? You already know, man. We can't have a decent match.
You can't get over on the Judgment Day. If the Judgment Day is in a match or there's something going on, they're all around, got their little sneaky little like hands on everything.
Like you said earlier, like when Tiffany Stratton had came out before the match was even over, because she said on SmackDown that she was going to come out there and make her mind up. So she comes out there, and the Judgment Day just pretty much keeps her from getting involved. So like she's not going to be able to choose who she wants to choose. She's going to have to choose the certain one.
She's gonna have to cash in on Nia Jax
Yeah.
because there's no way you're cashing in on the Judgment Day. There's like 6 of them.
And there'll always be a distraction there. So she just needs to do what's best for her and keep her mind on SmackDown.
Tiffany Stratton, the story was told with that briefcase. And then she comes out and, I mean, calls her shot, tells everybody her plan, says she's going to cash in, and then she doesn't even do it. They dropped the ball again.
And then Liv Morgan ends up coming up with the win because obviously all the Judgment Days out there, you know, like who do you think's going to win that?
And so that's your women's WWE champ, everybody, Nia Jax. She just lost.
And now Liv Morgan is the first ever Women's Crown Jewel champion, but we called that too.
KO versus Randy Orton. They didn't even have a match. You put it on the card, you advertise it, you put a storyline around it on TV, and then when it comes time for them to face one another, they don't even have a match.
You literally had Triple H come out and be like, "No, I'm protecting you." And
You
then,
wasted my TV time on SmackDown for this.
you can't be having Triple H do that for nothing.
And so they brawl and KO puts him through a couple tables. That's something you do on SmackDown,
He literally-
jumping out of the crowd onto tables.
Literally did a SmackDown spot.
The only notable thing from this entire segment was Randy Orton, RKO, and Adam Pearce.
And there will be repercussions for that probably. We'll see about that. But I mean, there wasn't a match, so there's nothing really to talk about there. Next, we have the U.S. Championship match with LA Knight. And guess who? Carmelo and Andrade in a triple threat match. Not again, but yeah, again. Man, what'd you think about that?
The match was chaotic. The pace of it, it felt sloppy. And I mean, congrats to LA Knight, but this win means nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, your next opponent looks like it might be Apollo Crews the way it's going.
This win means nothing because next week on Friday Night SmackDown, I already know Carmelo Hayes and Andrade are coming back out again, and they're going to say, I want that title.
And then they're just going to have another match.
And we'll see that for the ninth time then.
Like, dude, I'm sick of this. Like, get them off my TV.
This match was pure. This could have been a main event on SmackDown. They put this in Saudi Arabia just so they could see LA Knight for themselves. And that's it. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther.
WWE Champion versus World Heavyweight Champion.
Sounds really good on paper.
Yeah, really good when you read it like that.
But every second move was a sleeper hold.
It's like the match like was slow paced, you know, and like obviously Cody's arsenal, he's got a lot more in it.
I love these two guys, and I'm really trying not to be harsh and talk badly because I love Gunther. Everybody knows that if they listen to the podcast. And we both love Cody Rhodes. How could you not?
Right.
But this match was predictable. It went exactly how we said it would go.
And you could see all the turns and everything. You could see everything that was going to happen before. Like, so, towards the end, when Cody went for the Super Cody Cutter, and then Gunther went for the Sleeper, and then that's how Cody got the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. You know? That was so, like, you could see that coming from before he even jumped off the rope to do the Cody Cutter.
And
you know?
Cody Rhodes becomes the first greatest champion, and he gets his ring and everything, and they have a celebration, and it's great. I understand what this means for WWE, how successful this is, but they played it so safe in Saudi Arabia. I mean, they did nothing controversial, and it just was not entertaining. They did nothing that was like something you wouldn't expect. And
all the results were kind of SmackDown feeling or Raw feeling. Like they didn't feel like a PLE match. Like the last PLE we had like super crazy outcomes and different turns and everything. This one just like it was too predictable.
And I understand this is big for Saudi Arabia and this is big for the WWE as a whole, but I don't know if this is good for professional wrestling. Because if people are just going to pay you money and dictate how your show goes, and it's like, I understand it's a different audience than the US and stuff, but I just feel like this is not what wrestling is meant to be like.
I feel like the storyline should still be the same, you know what I mean? Like regardless of what's going on, like whatever. But now it's time to get into our official ratings. We're going to do it a little different how we usually do it. We're just going to kind of go down through here and name the match and then grade how we thought about it. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you first. What did you think about the fake bloodline defeating the OG bloodline?
I give this match a B, and I'm being generous.
I had to give it the same thing, man, because like we said, that's probably got to be the match of the night for real.
I'm being generous because really it's only a B because of who's in the match, not really so much what happened.
Yeah, it's more or less the same story we've seen, just with different people going different ways.
So I rounded it up just because we got to see Roman Reigns.
But then the next one, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match, what do you rate it?
I had to give it a C, man.
I gave it the same because, dude, it's just like, I understand they're in Saudi, but I mean, come on, there's a little bit of risk and chances you still can take.
It's not entirely their fault being in Saudi, but I expected more. Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed, what did you grade it?
Dude, I have to give it a solid freaking F.
This is the
Seth
stinkiest.
F.
I think this is the stinkiest match that we have reviewed all year. This is the worst match WWE's done this year. and I give it an F. The fattest F. This is my first F, and that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's serious.
Women's World Champion versus the WWE Women's Champion. What you rate that one?
It's got to be a C again. Like I said, they played it entirely safe. Nothing out of the ordinary happened, and we knew what was coming.
I got to give it a D, bro, just because the simple fact that, like, I think that was the only time to let the shine on Tiffany Stratton to cash in.
And then they completely dropped that ball. They did nothing. And like I said, you wasted my TV time with that segment because you didn't deliver.
I just have to give it a D because, like, man, if she would have cashed in, it would have been triple threat and then there would have been no rules. You know what I mean? Like, then it would have been a completely different scenario.
And if anybody deserves to be the greatest champion, it's the center of the universe, Tiffany Stratton. When we're not even going to talk about KO and Randy.
That's going to be 2 Fs if we do. We'll just skip it.
Yeah.
We ain't going to do it like that.
The U.S. Championship Triple Threat. What'd you grade it?
I got to give that one a C, a high C, bro. Because the action was there, but it was sloppy. You know what I mean? So I got to keep it with a C, man.
I just give it a flat C, my friend. Because of the fact, like I said, this could have been a main event on SmackDown. I don't know if this was a PLE-worthy match.
For sure.
And I love LA Knight as much as the next guy. Don't get in my comments saying that I hate LA Knight.
Yeah, because we literally predicted him to win. We wanted him to win.
I just want to see more.
Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. What you got on that one?
Bro, this match, I give it a high C, and I imagine that it's basically just because of the guys who are in it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I guess I'm a little biased because I like Gunther. I love Cody Rhodes.
Highly respected guys. It's just not the outcome of the match wasn't what we wanted, so I got to give it a high C too.
It is just so predictable.
And then for the whole Crown Jewel as a whole, 2024, dude, I got to give it a D.
I'm with you, and I think mine might be a little lower than yours, just to be real with you. And
Are you finna give your first PLEF?
No, I think it's just a low D, because they did really make me angry with this. I wanted to turn it off after the Bronson Reed thing.
But yeah, for this Crown Jewel, just going into Survivor Series War Games, I hope that it gets a little better than this.
Yeah, well, what did you guys think about Crown Jewel? Let us know, and are we overreacting? And that's about it for this episode.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
As for the fan connection, we're out of here.